Okay, here we are at West Creek Baptist Cemetery in around. As you can see, founded in 1792, there's a lot of graves out here. The cool thing is this cemetery, when I was a kid, was severely overgrown, and to the point where many of these stones were buried in weeds and completely unreadable. In the early 80s, a group of people from Leesburg, I believe it was, helped save the cemetery. And here's an example of what they did to save the cemetery. You'll notice Nancy Reagan's stone and Captain James Reagan's stone have been replaced. And when you see the back, you'll notice Captain Reagan's stone is broken, but they put a new stone in. And his wife's stone is actually still there and intact. But to memorialize them, they put new stones. And some of the stones, like that one there, it's broken. But they did a lot of restoration to the stones in the 80s. And saved a lot of the information of these stones. I mean, this one you can see is broken 3 times, and the one in front of it's broken at least 2 times, and the stone itself is pretty much unreadable and lost. But what a beautiful, beautiful testament to people trying to save stones. Like this one here, you can see was broken, and they found it and righted it. They didn't repair it, but they repaired it enough so that you can find out who it is. And you can see the repairs from the 80s on these stones and those stones. And for a little graveyard on the side of 347, and all these stones that were righted, repaired, and fixed in the 80s, this little graveyard has really stood the test of time and is really in good shape. Even though the stones to some people would be horrible looking, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this one, perfect example. You cannot really read it. It's really, really dirty and horribly overgrown with moss. There's another one horribly overgrown with moss. But these would clean up and be beautiful stones. That's a monument. If I had to guess, it's upside down because of, you can see the top. There's a seat, which means to me that stone's actually supposed to be up-sided and put down. But they did a lot of repairs, and it's just amazing to see all the repairs they've done and all the work they did. I mean, here's a beautiful example. The stones were stolen, and somebody was nice enough to put this plaque. Isn't that awesome? This is the work of the people down here that are maintaining and restoring and keeping this cemetery alive. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous example of people trying to save and keep their history alive. And we have friends that still live down here. Here's just a marker stone. And I know that my friend Lori and her family would probably gladly come and help us if we said, hey, we're going to help clean up this graveyard, because her family was part of the group of people that helped back in the 80s. What an awesome little cemetery. And people still come and keep the flags alive. And the stones, there's another base marker, just simple and sweet. Isn't that beautiful?
I love that one.
Even though the people took the other stones, they still gave the honor. And just in this one little picture, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 soldiers that you can see there. And there's another soldier here. There's another one there. There's all these little marker stones. Some may be footstones, some may be headstones, but just an amazing number of damaged but beautiful stones. Now this one is new enough that if we could get information on it, we could probably get the Veterans Authority in the area, and we might be able to get a new stone for them. May be able to get a new stone for that one too if it was a veteran. But just tons and tons of history in this area down outside of Leesburg. And the love and commitment of the area to keep this little graveyard going is beautiful. And here's another one that was broken. This is a Robinson. And here's an example of an early repair that I remember, but you can't see anymore. You see the metal brackets that are here. There used to be a stone here at one point marking this grave, and the stones were broken so bad they put metal bracket work onto the sides of the stone to hold them in place. But then over time, possibly from theft, the stone is gone now, and all it remains from that repair from the 80s are the metal brackets that were put in to hold the stones together to keep them from falling apart. So cool. And here's another beautiful example of it, just the base of the stone. But these here, this quick row of stones, there's like 4 or 5, they all have footstones. So we might not have the headstone, but we have a footstone. If we cleaned, we might have initials on.
This is SR.
This is SR. I wonder if it's a Reed. Wouldn't that be cool? Or a Robinson. And these are Cullins, Cullin. But you can see how dirty and black they are from, more than likely, the highway that's right there. Crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff. And I know the Historic Society down here has done an amazing amount of record keeping on these stones because they've tried to do restoration and just recording of it. So even though the stones might not look beautiful, I mean, these look like recently cleaned, maybe in the last 5 years, because this one is green and worn, but this one here, Thomas Camp, kind of looks like D2 has been here because of the way the stone, from seeing how it's the ones I cleaned look. It's just an amazing little graveyard in the middle of southern New Jersey, filled full of no less than probably 50 stones. And it's beautiful, beautiful thing. Here's one that's probably remade and replaced. Lottie Hand. How awesome is that? And this is not too far from the Green Cemetery, the Steelman Green Cemetery. Another awesome cemetery. Mosslander. Look how big. This stone must be 2.5 feet wide. It is a wide beast of a stone. What a beautiful stone. Passed away in 1811. And there's his wife, Mary. Beautiful, beautiful stone. Just gorgeous, gorgeous sight. This would be a fun winter one. And here's another Mosslander. This is Joseph Mosslander, born July 14th, 1804, died November 8th, 1881. His stone's a perfect example of the condition of many of them. And you can see another metal bracket from probably the 80s restoration. And there's another gentleman over here, a veteran. Look at this veteran stone. Down. This is a fairly interesting stone because this is Lilas Camp, 1897, 25th New Jersey Infantry. This is a Civil War veteran. Beautiful, beautiful example of a replacement stone from one of the earlier restorations and works to keep this graveyard alive. Beautiful, just beautiful.